Yeah, I don't really talk too much with the others, so I'm not sure what's going on. What are you doing here? Do we have a meeting or something?
Yes, there is a meeting to be held in a few hours, important enough that the Queen of Cullhaven must be properly represented, of course, and Jarek will do a flourish and like gesture down at his side. You recognize Her Grace, the Queen of Cullhaven, do you not?
Yeah. Yes. Finn will kind of nod her head respectfully at the kid.
Who's like maybe like 4 at this point. I think.
And Bob just kind of looks at Jarek and shrugs a little.
Jarek like looks sympathetically. Yes, but I had hoped at least to see you before then, to see how you were doing. You more than all the others I worry the most about. We helped each other.
Right. She actually looks just kind of like, I don't know, she gets kind of a glazed look on her face and then kind of snaps back and like, we should find the others.
I am sure that we will meet the others at Lady Celine's chambers. They have all gotten the summons, and I'm sure my arrival means that something big will happen. He
Hmm.
flashes a smile with his stark white teeth.
Hmm.
And extend like his free arm, like his one arm's like holding like the queen. May I have the pleasure of escorting you there?
Oh, but of course. She'll, what is that, like hook her arm around his arm
All right.
and skip.
Jarek will he'll start skipping, then he'll like look down at the queen, pick up the queen, and like start skipping.
Oh my god. I never thought I'd hear about Jarek Veermal skipping, but it's a private moment.
Having to like relate to a kid who's like 1/7
S-
his age, if not
s-
younger.
Sacrifices have to be made, I guess. I get it.
Sacrifices have to be made to entertain the girl. And skipping, I mean, why not, right?
Sure.
In the back
I
of his
get it.
mind, he's like, I could kill every single person here right now.
It's just thinking he could kill every single person.
Nice.
Okay. So you guys arrive at Lady Celine's private antechamber around the appointed time. Unless, well, I guess I shouldn't assume. Is there anyone who's not going to be there?
I'll be there. It's good.
Okay. Just making sure.
Only like Finn would be normally like late to these meetings if they're at all. The only reason why she got there on time or at all is because Jarek was there to be like an alarm clock.
Oh god.
All right, fair enough.
Get up, Norm.
Can I arrive there early?
Sure.
All right.
Did you what? Sorry.
I will be there like 20 minutes early.
Okay. When you arrive, Lady Celine says, "Oh, you're rather early."
Yeah, I heard that Jarek's in town, and I think I'd rather just stay here for now. She's still
She
rather
kind of
mad
like
about stuff.
she kind of like skips a beat and then goes, well, you're certainly welcome to do so. However, I also called him to this meeting, so if that's what you're going for,
No, 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 no. I'm completely fine with seeing him. I just don't want to see him outside when you're not in the same room with me. You know what I mean?
yes, I definitely can see that. Have you tried? You know what? Never mind. She just kind of like waves her hand like she was gonna say something, and then she's like, and then she
What?
goes back to going through reports on her desk, and she says, "Have a seat. They should be here soon."
Okay. Keen will have a seat.
All right. And I'd say after like 5 minutes, she'll put the pin down. She'll say, "Seriously though, you two have to work this out. I can't have the 5 stone bearers at each other's throats."
I would love to work it out, but I don't want to apologize for resurrecting Theoden.
She nods and she says, "I understand, but..." And then she shrugs. human relations were never really my strong point. It baffles me that you guys can bring an entire world together, yet you can't. Never mind, never mind. And she goes back to her writings.
Keen will just wait patiently.
All right. Everyone else will arrive in time.
So before I guess we get things underway, Pearson will, surprisingly for Pearson, almost a little too enthusiastically greet everyone, with the exception of Jarek, in which he'll put on his tough guy motif and meander over to the necromancer and say, I hear that Cullhaven hasn't fallen completely into ruin. I guess that's pretty much your doing, right?
Jarek shrugs and says, I'm just the regent.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Just the regent.
Jarek nods.
I'm glad to see that shit hasn't gotten to your head then. It's good to see you again, Jarek.
Well, you're the one who put me there.
I guess. Nah, I didn't put you there. The people did. I just gave you a bit of a nudge. But
Jarek snorts.
But I am very glad that you're here. I'm glad that everyone's here, actually, Pearson says. Things aren't going to be getting any better, so all of us together again makes me feel like things are going to start moving in the right direction again. Kick this fucker off our world once and for all.
Indeed.
Jarek slants a brow. Ever the optimist, Cullimore.
You have to, really. When you're cornered, at the very least, you gotta think of a way out.
All right. So is it safe to say everyone else arrives? Is there anything you would do when you arrive?
Cole gets there. I guess determine before or after Jarek gets there will determine his particular mood at that time.
Can be after Jarek and Finn can already be there. Jarek will have unhooked Finn's arm upon arriving. Pull out the seat for Finn. Sit next to her.
You'll see Cole stride in, look around, see you specifically, Jarek, and he'll go, finally.
And Jarek looks over at Cole and says, good day to you as well, Cole.
Right, greetings.
Jarek blinks.
Sorry, I've been called to so many meetings, I hope this one actually gets somewhere this time.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, Cole.
Me too. Cullhaven is such a distance from here. I would have hated for the Queen's time to be wasted.
Lady Celine would pipe up and say, yes, well, I assume we all hope that we'll be able to decide something for once. But this matter is a bit different.
How so?
Well, she kind of hesitates and she goes, I'm not too sure how to go about saying this because I'm not too sure what the problem actually is. All I can say is that yesterday we received a request for aid from a small village in Cullhaven, not too far from our borders. The village is rather remote and small. They are getting sick. We're not sure how or why. The message was not incredibly clear, but it could be a simple illness. They don't have a doctor to treat it, but it worries me that a village would come... She kind of hesitates. It worries me that a village would start getting sick at a time like this. The front lines have been quieter than they've ever been. Azil hasn't done anything that we can see, not even Neely's spies, and I think we all here are in agreement that that's not his nature. It could be nothing, but there's too much suspicion here for me to at least not investigate it. I called you here because this matter needs to be handled quickly and quietly.
Pearson nods for a moment. How big's the village?
She looks through her charts and as the GM doesn't definitely not do the same. She goes, it's rather small, and okay, there we go. She says no more than 15 settlements and 30 to 40 villagers. It is a farming village in the deep rural area of Coalhaven.
Can you show me where it is on the map?
Of course. She goes over to the map as I run back to the map, and points to right there.
Okay. Pearson says, Lady Celine, I don't wish to doubt you, but a disease follows war pretty rapidly, so I hear.
Jarek blinks. That's actually not that far from where I was born.
Pearson says.
Yes, while it is true that disease follows war, and you are correct, we have had several cases of dysentery and the like along the front lines. This is our first outbreak, I guess you could say, behind the lines. And what worries me
is that you think Azale's involved. You think the demons are doing something, Pearson says. That's why you want to send us.
She says, I have no evidence, truly, and what you say makes sense, but none of this adds up. He's desperate. He should be doing something, and this is the only thing I've seen that's even remotely suspicious.
Okay.
She nods and then continues, of course, I don't intend on sending you there without proper aid. I would like you all to meet Alking. And as she says that, she kind of raps on the wall, and the door opens, and a elderly gentleman, maybe in his 60s, very well dressed for a human, has
what does that imply? Humans can dress well.
Well, dress for a human.
You know exactly why Pearson Collimore.
Yeah, good point. He looks down at the one shirt he apparently owns.
Stained with so much blood.
Seriously though, this guy looks
Carla's really
dapper.
good at getting out blood. It's like one of her perks. Please continue.
Alkeen comes in. He says, hello. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. I am, well, I suppose I'm one of the last experienced doctors left from the Freelands. Lady Celine will nod to him and then back to you and say, I will be sending him with you. Whatever the case may be this a simple outbreak or something more, I don't believe any of you are trained in actually treating such things.
No, we're not.
She nods and she says, then ideally that would be left to him. And while he is doing what he can to treat them, I implore you to rule out my suspicions.
Pearson pauses for a moment, and he says, you think Azale's getting desperate. It's true, he is on the defensive. We've known that for months. Are you concerned that we might be walking into some sort of trap?
She considers your words, and she shakes her head and she says, of course, traps are always possible.
Of course.
But I cannot believe this would be a trap intended for you. After all, the fact that I'm sending you to investigate a simple outbreak would probably never even cross their minds.
Pearson nods. That is true. It might be subtle enough. All right. Yeah. I've been in Sunset Tower for a little too long anyway. And this war isn't going to get won if, we are the Stone Bearers after all. We have to do the death blow. I'm up for this. Why not?
Lady Celine nods and she says, there are, of course, other reasons for it to be your group. Not only are you probably the best, and your records indicate the most successful allies I have, but if this is something, if this is anything, discretion is necessary. Morale could be horribly shaken if people were to even think that they had somehow found a way to cause such things.
I see.
Well, speaking of, what's the illness? Rashes, coughs, dead?
Alkeen nods to Cole and says, unfortunately, we don't know. We just received a simple request for aid saying that people had fallen ill. I will assess as soon as I get there and find out. I can tell you, at least from the very get-go, that it at least affects humans, given that it is a human settlement, and given that the message was sent from an elf that lives nearby, I would say that there's a chance it doesn't affect elves. Other than that, he kind of shrugs. We'll have to go there and find out.
What's the name of the village?
There was a little Spanish flea. Na 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 da 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 da. Loading music.
It's quietly peaceful. I was just saying, like, if she fucking said Winter Creek, Jerry was gonna flip the entire fucking table.
No.
The town next to Winter Creek.
It was called Shales Meadow. It's the closest local city is Shales Gate, and
Right.
this village is one of their main food suppliers, so it shares a similar name, Shales Meadow.
Pearson rubs his bottom lip a little bit, and he says, humans, huh? He looks over to this healer fellow. What was his name? Alkeen?
Alkeen, yeah.
Alkeen, and he says, I don't suppose you have some sort of herbs or wards or talismans or what have you to help fortify a person for disease? I'd feel a little bit more comfortable if I had something like that.
He nods and he says, well, there are things that we try, but to be fair, no one here, short of magical healing, which I do not know, knows of any surefire way to keep yourself from being infected. One of the risks of my profession is that you roll the dice, as it were, every time you treat such things.
I see. Well, I like to roll dice too, but I always prefer that they're loaded. Any advantage you can give me, I won't say no.
He nods. He says, I have several herbs and other things that I can give you that should bolster your fortitude.
Good.
And
All
I
right.
suggest you all take them, as we don't know for sure this affects only humans.
Pearson
Does
nods.
Keen count?
Yeah, do I count?
He looks at you and he goes, as I said, we know it affects humans.
He will roll his eyes and kind of stand up and make his wings appear.
Pearson's gonna give his hand is gonna give a sarcastic flourishing wave. Keen.
Ta-da!
Yeah, ta-da. See?
Alkeen
actually
is
Not
actually
human.
going to lose his calm disposition, sputter and go, oh my, and actually fall over Lady Celine's desk. And Lady Celine's just going to put her face in her hands and go, Keen, really?
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Keen,
Are
don't
you
tell
okay?
the guy that we need
You
to
could have
save
just
everyone.
explained it to him.
Well,
Yeah,
Pearson does say, you know what? If I told people I was a dragon, people probably wouldn't believe me either.
You see Alkeen get up, his hair a bit disheveled, going, "Ah, you didn't tell me he was a dragon. Are all of you dragons?"
No, just
No.
Jarek
Pearson
will,
says.
will look at the doctor, thinking in his mind, "Yep, explains why he's associated with Lady Celine."
He would say, "Well,
Nepotism.
I'm no expert on dragons, but I've never known them to gain any sort of illness, so I would say you're relatively safe."
Okay.
See, those are good odds, Keen. Relative.
I think I'll take it just in case.
Well, you're
Yeah.
certainly safer than Pearson over there.
Mm-hmm. Pearson says, "Thanks, Finn."
Yeah. I'll miss you, good buddy. Finn gives him a little wink.
Keen will
Pearson
fold his
laughs.
wings back into his body.
Lady Celine will say, "In any case, speed is of the essence. I'm going to postpone our meeting until you get back with whatever you find out, because if it is important, it could choose the course of it.
Okay.
I have already enlisted the aid of Fergal and his gnomes to get you there quickly. All of you are welcome to take what you can from our reserves, what you feel you may need." Out of character, basically, take a look at the shopping list. You've got about 200 gold worth of things you can take.
Cool! Time to go on a shopping spree.
Oh yeah, potions.
And
I'm gonna give
she'll
me a
say,
potion of confusion.
"Hopefully, I'm just being paranoid."
Do any of you guys need the shopping guide?
It should be, if you go, I'll remind you guys, if you go to the third tab over, the dialogue window, the art library, and then the journal, go to your journal.
inside.
Yeah, it's like the handouts. There's a shopping
Yes.
guide handout.
Handout, shopping guide.
Because I actually have a Google document from Squee, so.
Oh, and I have a physical document from Squee. Oh my god.
My imagination. Oh my god. My 13 volcanoes.
13 volcanoes.
Alright, so you guys, basically, you can peruse that. I'm not gonna, force, let's stop everything while you guys decide what you want. Just take a look at it and write what you want down. When you get it, let me know. We'll continue the adventure, and then you can retroactively get a few things as long as, again, same rules apply. If you're in the middle of a fight and you're like, "Yeah, Squee, I bought a health potion."
That's not cool. I made it super easy for you. 200. I'm replacing a couple potions that I used. I'm gonna get me a potion of aptitude, which is 100, and a potion of physical dampening, damage dampening champion tier, which is 100. Boom. I'm good.
She will remark that she's not opening all the stores to you because, again, discretion. If she were to fully outfit you guys, there'd be questions asked that even she wouldn't be able to silence, and et cetera, et cetera. So with that, actually, why don't you guys take a look at that? I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
I gotta pee too, so
Okay.
I'm gonna
Actually,
go.
me too. Bathroom break.
Good,
Woo!
goodbye.
My god. Okay.
I will
I
miss
guess
you.
it's just me and Grim. And Piff, right? You're sticking around?
Yep, that's me.
Okay, good.
How is everyone doing? It's been a bit.
Yeah, it has.
I did not expect potions.
I still have some from my prior adventures.
Oh yeah, I'm actually just looking over all of them, going "Yep, that's pretty much all I want. More rejuvenations, I guess."
I still have the magic wish stone, should all else fail.
Yep.
I wish for a seesaw. Wait, no, I take that back. I'm sorry.
No! No!
Your wish has been granted.
I wish for the
Shenron.
softest pair of underpants.
I wish.
You know, the
wish
thing
would-
is, I could take off my hat and probably pull that out of my hat.
Yes, his fucking
Yeah.
magic hat full of knickknacks and shit.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
The knickknack Betty like him.
I wish I had been hybridized already.
Hybridized.
Yeah.
Is that what the cool kids are doing nowadays?
Is that what
Yeah.
you do to animals?
Get
Wow,
them high and
no.
just breed them? What the heck?
Here you go, kitty. Have some weed.
That's not what I was talking about. Okay.
I don't even know where to go from there.
May I assume what you mean is having a hybrid character class for your
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Alright, Squee, I'm going to get an epic tier potion of fortification. That's 200 gold pieces and something I don't have.
Okay.
I'm the Lord Regent of Colhaven. I will accept this as my appropriate time.
Oh, that's your regent voice. Okay.
You know, just, that's my one of my just like snobbish voices. Yes,
Oh,
I
yes.
think I shall condescend. See that I would deign to like go on this bit. That's pretty much like Jarek's attitude. Like, fucking bitch doesn't order me around. I'm the fucking Lord Regent of Colhaven.
I am
And
so curious what you're going to do with the young queen.
She's getting left here with the guards. Hopefully she won't eat that many leaves.
She won't eat that many leaves. That's good. That's realistic parenting. You can't
can
say
only hope.
really none.
Well, yeah, he hadn't left him with the guards more than a few seconds when leaves started
saw
slipping
that.
through the cracks.
I mean, Jesus, she's 4. I think she's doing this zip point to get something out of Jarek.
I think this means something.
Derek, I want a dolly, or I'll eat
It's
more
true.
leaves. Oh, you little shit.
I mean, considering how much of a disciplinarian he is, at this point, it's like, fine, fucking bitch, die. Like, I'll just raise you from the dead, and you'll be a skeleton under my command,
It is.
and I'll still be Lord Regent.
Welcome back, Krana.
What a horrible way to make someone go to sleep. Go to sleep now, or I'm going to murder you, raise you from the dead, and you'll be one of my skeletal minions.
Then
Don't think I don't know how to do that. I'm the Lich King.
I will command you to sleep.
Whenever I'll have Lucian bite you, turn you into a vampire under his command, and he's under my command, and that'll get you to fucking sleep.
Well, then I won't sleep during the night.
Most elaborate sleep plan ever.
Yeah.
Jarek understands simple solutions. He elects not to use them.
Gotcha.
Gonna do anything, do it with style.
He
All
threw
right.
Occam's razor out the window. All right.
Everyone, let me know when everyone's back.
Back.
I'm back.
I'm back.
Okay, good. So when you guys are ready to depart, as you are getting ready, Lady Celine would come up to Pearson and say, "I'm going to let you deal with Carla. She was quite perturbed. She didn't get to come along."
Pearson says, "Well, I know Carla, and she's actually better at this than I am, but I'll chat with her in regards to it, but frankly, when you're a parent, you can't help but imagine worst case scenarios, and both her and I went along and say we both ended up getting sick from this disease and we both died. We wouldn't want our children to be orphans, so I'm sure she'll understand that. I'll have a chat with her in private in regards to it."
She nods. She goes, "It's difficult enough dealing with one angry Colomore. I'd rather not deal with two."
Yeah. Well, unless you start making some secret pact with the demons, Lady Celine, we're in pretty good company. You don't have to worry about me getting angry at you.
Don't give her ideas.
Wow, fucking Pearson. Wow, he has changed. Damn.
Yeah, I know.
Lady
I
Celine
know
will
he
actually
has,
raise
he
an
has.
eyebrow.
Pearson shrugs. What?
Nothing. Nothing. And then she's gonna look at Jarek,
Jarek looks at Lady Celine and just because he's so used to talking to his eyes what?
Pearson's eyes lock with Jarek's. You got a problem?
Jarek locks his eyes with Pearson. Pretty much what?
We meet again, old friend. Just kidding. Anyways, I'm done with that silliness.
All right. Once you guys are ready to go, you meet a gnome one of Jigal's gnomes, best known for his tunneling magic, and in an act that is quite familiar to your party by now, you travel underground, and the gnome uses his magic to travel very quickly.
No way, no business, goodbye!
And you guys travel in about 8 hours. You make the trip.
Okay.
You will find that one of the interesting things is that the gnomes have had, at this point, a lot of experience tunneling people, supplies, equipment, and anything else underground, and doing so at excessive speeds. So in the past 6 months, the best gnomes have built up a type of magical endurance that has allowed them to move farther and faster than they could before. War is great for improving many abilities. And killing people. That too.
It does help. During the journey, would there be a chance for us to perhaps roleplay a little bit?
Yeah. There is about 9 hours or so of traveling.
Sweet. Finn and I wouldn't mind doing a mono RP, if that is groovy beans.
No.
Okay, well then.
Are we doing
all
this,
of you
are we
folks
doing
talking
this
to each
while
other?
we're in the tunnel, so like we're all crammed together?
Yes.
No, 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 no. No,
Like,
no,
that would be the
listen!
flip side. Like, we're all together, so, like, I don't think you can wander that far away from the gnome.
Ah, shit. Okay, well then never mind then.
No. He's using his crazy magic.
You guys weren't shoot out the door instantly. You would have time while everyone's getting prepared.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Okay, good point, good point. So before we hit the tunnel, but while we're getting our own stuff and whatnot. Okay, groovy, groovy. All right. Shoot, Krana.
All right. So what's Pearson up to?
I think what Pearson is going to be doing is he's going to be trying to... He just got himself a few new potions, of course, right? And he's been given a new backpack by Lady Celine's people. And he's shuffling his potions, a bunch of them, in the bag so they don't clang together. So he's taking them out, trying to wrap them in something, putting them back in. They're not fitting correctly, and he's kind of cursing and swearing at himself a little bit. Like, you know, someone who's overpacking a piece of luggage. That's kind of what's going on right now.
All right. So like Finn would kind of approach him, kind of like it would be one of those like where she's trying to be subtle, but it's not so subtle. Like kind of
Gotcha.
standing there, taking one giant foot, like, and placing it down, and then slowly scooting over.
Pearson will set down the potion on the side there, and he'll look towards Finn, and he says, "Hello, Finn. We didn't have much of a chance to talk when everyone was together. I haven't seen you around much over the past few months, but I've been pretty busy, as has everyone else been.
Yeah.
Are you all set?"
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, how's the family?
They're as good as they can be, honestly. We have some set of normalcy here in Sunset Tower, but honestly, what's getting me and Carla through is the idea of going back to White Bridge and rebuilding everything that we lost. But otherwise, they're good. They're good. How have you been?
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't know exactly how to put it, but can I keep this between you and I?
Of course. If there's one thing I can do, it's keep a secret.
Yeah, I know. So if it comes to, I mean, things are gonna get pretty hairy,
Yes.
probably eventually,
Mm-hmm.
ideally. If there's ever a moment where someone needs to take the final blow, like, I don't know, like if it's a life and death situation,
Yeah.
don't risk yourself.
Pearson kind of furrows his brow a little bit, and he says, I appreciate the sentiment quite a bit, and I don't know if I can promise that completely because in the heat of battle, no one knows exactly what happens, right? Once you start fighting, things kind of take a mind of their own. However, I can assure you, I don't have a suicide wish. I'm doing this for everyone, but what really makes it personal for me is Carla and Samantha and Danielle. Thank you. and it's so bad. I'm the worst father ever. Samantha and Danielle, and they ground me, and I'm doing this so I can go back to them. But he pauses for a moment, and he says, all of us want to live through this. Why are you asking me this? Why are you, what are you thinking, Finn?
I don't know. I guess I feel more responsible than everyone else for all of this happening, so
Pearson will go by a bench. There'll be a nearby bench in the hallway here, and he'll sit down, and he'll gesture for Finn to sit down next to him.
Finn will kind of like, she has her arms crossed and is kind of like looking around pretty quickly and shuffles over and sits down.
Sure. Pearson will lean over a little bit, and he says, wait, Squeak, remind me, was it Samantha or Danielle? It was the youngest one, right?
Yeah, it was the youngest one,
Okay.
Danielle.
My own daughter, Danielle, spoke the wish that opened, that final wish that opened all these portals. It was my blood that caused all this, for the most part. Why do you feel responsible?
Well, okay. So your wish was to rid the world of a really bad person.
Yeah.
And your daughter's wish was so innocent. I mean, I don't really count it.
Yeah, well, it was the wish of a child, right? Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, you guys aren't the ones to blame.
Why do you keep saying that? I know you used the stone. We all know you used the stone, but is that what the problem is? You feel that you're as responsible as anyone else? But why do you think you're more responsible, Finn?
Because you guys did it to better other people. For the benefit of others.
Pearson nods a little bit. Sorry.
It wasn't supposed to be all these other people dying.
I see. Pearson pauses for a moment and he says, did you wish for a bunch of other people to die?
No.
Okay. So then you must have wished for mountains of gold that are hidden away somewhere that you can go to after all this, right?
It was supposed to be a life for a life. I thought it made sense.
I see. I see. There'll be a bit of a silence for a moment. If Finn complies, of course. I don't want to say what she does or says.
Yeah, Finn just kind of has her arms crossed. If anything, like her what's tapping on the ground pretty uncomfortably.
Pearson's gonna think for a moment. He's never been really great with words, and he sighs. But eventually, something hits him, and he says, "I don't think I ever told anybody how I ended up meeting Carla. I was a pretty awful person in the past. You've seen what I've done to our enemies. Well, imagine me doing that to innocent people, shopkeepers, rival gang members, for money and for pride and for some fucked up sense of honor. If things didn't change in my life, when we first met on that bridge, those guys who ambushed us, I could have been on that other end, right? I could have ended up dead like them. But I didn't. I ended up meeting Carla. She was a midwife for a local hospital. Just met her by happenstance, and you know how it goes. You know, you find someone, you fall in love at first sight. And for the longest time, we start to see each other. And for the longest time, though, I felt incredibly guilty. How could someone as wretched as me deserve someone as great as her? Eventually, it boiled over to the point where her and I had to have a conversation. And the man I am today is mostly because of her, and mostly because of what she's told me. And she said to me that trying to change the past, worrying about the past, is one of the most futile things you can do. We have no power to change what we have done. None whatsoever. All the belly aching and worrying and stressing about it means nothing. What we can do, though, is change for the future. I have tried to make that change. I have in some regards, and I've failed in others. But I don't beat myself up for the wish that I made to rid Brother Seafeed of this world. Nor do I hold my daughter responsible for what she did. And I don't hold you responsible, Finn. If you feel shitty about what you did, then it's for a reason. And that reason is so you don't do it again and you become a better person. Pearson kind of gives a bit of a shake of his head and he says, Carla said it better than I did.
I mean, I'll try, I guess.
Of course. It's fucking hard. Pearson says it's one of the hardest things you have to do. It's easy to say don't worry. It's a lot harder to actually do it. But I'm at least some sort of physical proof that it can happen. That your past doesn't have to define you. At least not completely.
Finn kind of nods her head slowly.
Pearson will once again kind of sit in silence, and then he'll pause for a moment, and he'll put a big old meaty hand on her shoulder, on her little elfie shoulder, and he'll give it a bit of a squeeze, and he says, if you ever need to talk about anything like that again, let me know. I mean, I'm not really much for wisdom or any of that shit, but I've done some pretty awful stuff, so, I mean, at the very least, Finn, you're not me. You can at least put that in your pocket.
You're right. Hey, Pearson.
Mm-hmm.
Finn, lifts up her hand and points at her face and, looks him, straight in the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Arenell. Finn
Alright,
was my dad's name.
I see.
Just
Arenell
what
is
someone should know.
Pearson nods a little bit. All right. I'll take to that to my grave, Arenell. Don't you worry.
Yeah, stick with Finn. It sounds weird
I
when
will.
you say it.
Yeah, I don't have a fruity elf tongue, Pearson laughs, so I guess I can't get the pronunciation
Yeah,
right.
maybe you could practice on that, Pearson.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I can teach you some things. I know a thing or three.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You, I'd be much more interesting on how you work those knives than having to do any sort of fruity elf speak, but...
Well, I can also teach you how to pack because your stuff is about to fall right out as you lift it up.
Okay, well, alright. One lesson at a time. Let's start with packing and leave the elven for later there, Finn.
Alright, deal.
And scene!
Scene!
And scene.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, that's
Well,
right.
hot damn.
Yeah. I start scrolling through my notes, going, "Wait, what? It was? It is? Oh, it is." All right. So, is there anything else? We'll say it this way: is there any other interactions anyone would want to have either before or during the traveling period?
I can't think of anything that I would initiate.
Well, then that solves my problem. Derek is not going to deign to associate with these plebs who are not noble-born and beneath the associating with the Lord Regent.
I would like to take back the "I'm glad it didn't get to your head" remark. I would like to take that back.
This is the villain you created.
No!
Yes, it is.
That's another thing I should feel shitty about.
Actually, during the trip down, Jarek, you are going to be constantly pestered by hang on. I already forgot his name.
Mika.
Not Mika.
Oh
my God.
String does not last very long.
Yeah, I was gonna say pestered once by Mika. Alkin. Alkin's
Okay.
going to be. So I've heard the most remarkable things. Is it true you don't really breathe?
Jarek will like blink and then say, looking back towards him. You would write a book about me?
Oh, can I?
Oh god.
Jarek says, well, I am Lord Regent of Cullhaven. I suppose I could perhaps fit you in whenever I am not busy handling affairs of state. Jarek will like scrutinize the man to see whether he's like an assassin who's plotting to kill him, and then decide, like based on his ineptitude, that maybe he's either really good at hiding it or he's not. And say, that is correct. I do not breathe. I do not eat, although I can, nor do I need to sleep.
Fascinating. But if you don't sleep, So you're saying you've never dreamed before?
You say, I have. This condition was not with me whenever I was first born. It is something I have developed whenever I was a teenager.
I see, I see. And he kind of hesitates for a second. Well, I've also heard. Is it true that you can glow green when you become angry? Or, how shall I say,
What?
aroused?
What?
What?
Jared
What?
slants a brow and says, I don't analyze myself whenever I get angry. I would hope that you would not be interested in seeing that.
Oh, no. I mean, simply scholars' interest in you, of course. No, just.
I tell you what, should I get angry at any point during this trip, I'll let you know, and you can write down your observations.
Oh, I would most appreciate that.
Jarek, his like lips will curl upward, and then like the little glint of like light here in the Underdark as it only just. Oh, I'm sure you would.
With that, other than that, the little gnome will be. He's a chatterbox. He'll talk about his time on the front lines. Nothing that you guys don't pretty much already know, except it's more of a personal first-person account of, oh, and then I moved this guy to that one, and then Lady Sky was with me on one patrol. Can you believe that?
Finn would be during some of it when he's not. Who is this? The gnome talking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, while the gnome's talking, she'd look at the others and like she'd do like the hand gesture, like mocking him, like.
Pearson will have to stuffle a grunt and mask it as a cough. I mean, a laugh and mask it
As
as a
the
cough.
mention of Sky, Jarek will tilt his head and slant it to look at Pearson.
Pearson will give a neutral look, not a fuming one, and he kind of just bobs his head back and forth as a, Sky type of gesture.
Jarek attempts to interpret this latest, conversation and eyes and like gestures between Pearson and Jarek.
Yeah, it's that was a complicated one I shot at you, big guy.
I'm not that easy, whatever.
No, you know what I mean. No, like big guy
yeah.
as the honorific, endearing term,
Yes,
not
yes,
that,
of course.
not like you're Cole.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jarek will puzzle over that.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be what interests him, and then so his eyes will end up gravitating towards Pearson frequently during the trip.
Cole is probably during the beginning of the trip, unabrasedly will probably go up to each one of you and give you an orc hug.
Pearson will he'll make it very loud that he wants to keep it short, but oddly enough, you feel him squeezing back surprisingly strongly.
All right.
Now, kid.
Okay,
You will
Jesus
say
Christ.
out loud, but in a soft voice. We'll say out loud. I'm glad that you're not dead. To every single person.
I'm glad you're not dead either, Cole. I would be bad.
Jarek, while like squeezing back lightly, will say, "I will be if you keep squeezing."
Nice.
Okay. So after about 9 hours of time, you arrive about.
Wait,
a
wait, wait,
quarter
wait,
of-
wait,
Oh,
wait,
yes,
hang on.
yes.
No, I gotta. Finn would do this because
Okay.
it's fucking 9 hours.
Yep.
She would be looking between Keen and Jarek
Yes.
and like, kind of like, so.
What?
So.
It's great we're all together, right?
Jarek's still like casting like suspicious glances at Pearson, not paying attention.
Yeah,
Pearson was gonna say something. Oh, sorry, Keen.
it's good to be out of the tower. I mean,
Good that we don't want to
relax.
kill each other, right?
Like Cole is like nodding along solemnly, and once you say that, he like opens up his eyes and stops moving.
Oh boy, right in the middle of a tunnel, Pearson says.
Jarek not even paying attention to like the meaning of Finn's words, just gives like a non-committal.
I don't want to kill anybody.
Right. She's looking at Jarek now. Right, right?
Jarek will like realize that like there's a conversation directed his way. You'll like
Yeah, and then most
snap
people
out
have
of,
stopped
looking at
walking.
Pearson. And Jarek will say,
Why are we stopping?
"Right, yes. What did? Yes." He doesn't want to admit that he wasn't paying attention to Finn because it sounds like it'd be a Finn thing to do. Jarek's like, "Yes."
Finn's eyes kind of narrow and she approaches Jarek. You don't want to kill
Jarek,
anyone, right, Jarek?
Like here.
let
Here,
me
Pearson says.
compose myself. Is Jarek like he's like so lost in his suspicion of like Pearson, what the hell that Bob thing meant that he's wondering why all of this attention. Like, well, I want to hurt many creatures. I, after all, am the Lord Regent of Cullhaven, and I am very concerned about the
Right.
safety and stability of my nation.
Yeah, you're. I meant in this. Finn kind of like waves her arm around the space. I mean, these fine individuals that we.
I like the scholar who's with us, if that's what you're asking. He like turns and looks at like the scholar / healer who like peppered him with questions earlier.
Okay, Keen, Jarek, I need you two to make up because it's getting weird.
There we go. Pearson
Finn
says.
covers her mouth really quickly.
Jarek's like one of like his black brows like lift. Oh. Well, Jarek slowly looks at Keen.
Bean will stare at Jarek.
Jarek looks back at Finn and then will fish into his pouch and pull out the wish stone and say, "You're going to have to use this if you want that." And will drop it at like basically in Finn's hand and turn and try to keep walking.
Mm.
Pearson's. Mm-hmm. Pearson says, I've seen better alliances or agreements between the shark fins and the copper roses than I have seen between Jarek and people that Jarek are angry at.
Okay, let's get this going. I don't want to hold this. She
I
runs up
know.
and hands it back to Jarek.
There you go.
Jarek will take it, knowing full well that no one was going to use the damn wish stone to make Jarek and Keen make up.
Oh, I was gonna use it. Fuck, give it to me.
That would have been some shit if you really want my character to want to kill you.
Like, you had to use it. God.
I like
that
you,
was-
but I'm so mad at what you did.
You do realize that I can still kill people that I like, right?
Well, shit.
Pearson will say to before as they get going. Pearson will say to Finn, but this isn't a whisper, and he'll say, "I trust me. Time works its own ways. It took about 5 months before I got speaking with Sky again, so this just takes a little bit longer. I hope."
I mean, she did almost hurt your daughter a lot. Finn's not like lowering her voice. I mean, your own flesh and blood.
Pearson will pause for a moment, and then he'll realize he's not stupid, but it took him a moment to catch on with what she's doing, and he's like, oh yeah, now it's on a far more conversational tone.
Now Jarek stops walking. Like,
Ah.
Finn runs into Jarek.
slowly, it's like his body shakes to look towards Pearson. And then
Pearson-
the confused and perplexed look he has like dawns like a look of
Yes, I typically have kept this. I didn't really want to announce this or anything like that, but the last time we were in Sunset Tower, before we left, your words rang true with me, and it sure as shit wasn't easy, but Sky and I are no longer. I have no longer have any outright animosity towards Sky. I understand what she did, even though I didn't like it, but I understand it wasn't completely her fault either. So I decided to bury that grudge.
Jarek will lift a pensive finger to tap at his chin.
And Pearson will raise his hand and say, listen, I'm not... This isn't some childlike dare where I say, well, I've done it, now you do it, right? Your situation between you and Keen is a situation between you and Keen, right? And if you never forgive each other, so be it. But
Good, I'm glad you understand. Jarek will
But-
just pounce on that immediately.
okay, all right, but that doesn't mean it couldn't happen or shouldn't happen. It's just that maybe it needs to take more time. That's all. I don't have any magic words that'll make you like each other again, and that probably will never happen, but as long as we can work together, that's that. It's just that simple. As long as there's no outright threat of murder for each other, I think that's a good place to start from.
That sounds like a good plan. Don't you think so, Cole?
Cole is generally just like, he has not talked to many people in the last 6 months and goes, yeah.
Wise as always.
Jarek flashes a smile. Splendid. Let us proceed then. He'll swivel around, start walking again.
You will all, if you whoever would notice, will notice that the gnome has completely stopped talking, and even after you continue walking again, he is silent as things that are silent.
You could cut the mood with a knife. You could cut it. It's so thick.
And Alkin is busy trying to walk and write at the same time.
In a dark tunnel. You stupid old man. Okay, that's
Uh-huh.
fine.
But
He
he's been
is-
writing
he-
ever since you guys stopped and started.
You know, Grimmeth is right. This is definitely one of Lady Celine's hires. Holy shit. Nepotism, man. Fucking nepotism.
Fucking told you.
Jesus.
You know, there's something for it. If the leaders in this world were so competent, they wouldn't need you guys.
Not incompetent, just heads in the cloudsy type of thing, you know?